Check, 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 check. Turn the house music down. Can you turn the house music down? Check one. That's better. So, hello, everyone. Welcome. What a great day in upstate New York. We don't get many of these, so we're pretty excited about it. Speaking of weather, many of you may have remembered that back in 2019, how many years ago? 4? We had planned to do this, have a psychic gallery reading with Dr. Rebecca Foster. And as all of you know who are from upstate, that you can't count on the weather, especially in February, and we, of course, had a snowstorm, which made it so she couldn't get here, so we had to cancel. And at that point, we said, we're going to reschedule this thing, and we're going to get it done quickly. Well, COVID hit. That kind of screwed that up for 3 years. But here we are 4 years later, and we're doing it, so we're excited. And thanks for bearing with us. A lot of people have been asking Rebecca and Wayne when we're going to get this thing scheduled, and we kept saying, it's coming, I promise, and here it is. So thanks for being here. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's JV Johnson. Many of you in here know me as Jim, and some of you even know me as Jimmy, which is very embarrassing, so don't bring it up. Thank you. Yeah. But if you don't know, I've been a professional broadcaster for a lot of years, 40-ish, and I own some radio stations in the area. But along the way, I got involved in the paranormal as well. I worked with the TV show Ghost Hunters with the crew there. I ended up co-hosting a syndicated radio program with Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters. We did that on Westwood One radio networks for a lot of years. That was a lot of fun, but the best part about it is that when you do that, you get to interview really cool people. And 4 nights a week, we interviewed really cool people. And one of those really cool people was Rebecca Foster. When she first came on the program, we had interviewed a lot of psychic mediums. It's just part of what we did. But when Rebecca came on, her abilities, her psychic sensitivities impressed us, and her personality impressed us even more. She's a great individual and a lot of fun, so we kept having her come back. And then if I fast forward a little bit, because I do want to do some self-promotion here, we ended up recently forming a partnership with a third individual who's over here, Britt Griffith from the TV show Ghost Hunters. How many seasons? Season 4 through 10 on Ghost Hunters. So the three of us have put together a project called Paranormal Reality TV. And you probably see on your tables a piece of paper that has some QR codes. If you take your phones out, use your camera with the QR code, you can get to one of our channels. Twitch and YouTube are on there. And you can follow and subscribe. I'll wait. Okay, but seriously. And the exciting thing about all of that is that Paranormal Reality TV is a twist on the paranormal television shows that you've seen or may not have seen. But what we're doing is live investigations. And those live investigations are guided by the people watching them. We've done one so far. We did it in Illinois. It was phenomenal. We've got some great stuff. But the beauty of it is when we're in the dark looking for ghosts, we can't see everything. But the people watching through the cameras can see with the benefit of the IR light, the infrared light. So they would see things that we didn't see, and they'd point us in the right direction, and that led to some really great things caught on camera. We'll let you decide what they are. But anyway, so that's our project, and what's really fun about this weekend, and really the reason the three of us are here together, and Rebecca's doing this weekend, is tomorrow night we're doing a live investigation at the Fairchild Mansion, the Masonic Temple here in Oneonta, if you don't know what it is. It's never been investigated before. It's an amazing building. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the big red building, the big red mansion across from the gas station. It used to be a Hess station on the corner of Grand and Main. We're going to be doing that live Friday and Saturday nights, tomorrow and Saturday, and the channels that are on those QR codes, you'll be able to watch us do it live. So hopefully you'll join us and put your comments in, let us know what you're seeing at the time. So with all that, I know you're not here to hear me talk. I'm really pleased and proud to have made such a great friend in Rebecca Foster. She's very gifted spiritually, and she's just a great person. So put your hands together for Dr. Rebecca Foster.
I have to walk around with this. And he said, you need to talk into the microphone the whole time. And I said, I'm not even Italian, and I'm going to be doing this the whole time. How am I going to work with a mic? So, and a spotlight in my face, but it's all good. Okay. First of all, thank you all for coming tonight and being patient with us putting this together for how many years? 5 years we've been working on this? Also, this is live. I guess I was kind of zoning out, so your faces may be on the live tonight, so hopefully everybody's cool with that. This is a stretch because I mean, I read for a lot of people in New York, but have I ever read for anyone here via phone or anything? Oh, this is amazing, because normally half the room lifts their hand, and then, all right. So I'm going to explain first what I'm going to do. I am going to, even if you're in the back, it doesn't matter, because I may make my way through you guys and find the best journey. I've been doing this for 37 years. I started when I was 13. I was gifted from when I was about 4 is the earliest I can remember, but I didn't start using it until 13. And it started kind of like a circus act. I would go see my brother, and he hung out at Denny's with his friends, and then he'd be like, dude, come over here. Like, my sister's totally going to read you. And that's how it started. And then people were asking, can we do this in private? And I said, I don't know, Mom. Can they come to the house? So that's really how this all began. I attribute all of it to God. I cannot do any of this. I am not magical. I'm not a super all-powerful genie. This is all Him. And I've kind of surrendered all of the things that I do. This is all I do full-time. And I have given up all of my free will to Him. And so I just do what He tells me to. I give you the messages that I'm hearing tonight. They will come from Him, from your spirit guides, from people who've passed over. I do not consult the dead, so don't ask Uncle Joe if you should buy the house, because I won't do it. And the reason I don't is because when you vocalize a question, anything can answer it. Because just as you've got light, you've also got dark. And that light knows everything about you just as much as the dark knows all about you. And if you ask what happened or this or that, they can answer it as well. So my question, or not even a question, what I ask you to do is send up your questions to Spirit, to Yahweh, and ask Him to answer your questions tonight. Obviously, I'm not going to get to everyone. However, I believe Rebecca handed out the coupons to you guys tonight. Normally, they are gift card numbers, but I totally failed this time and forgot to print them off. So each one of you gets your money back in that in the reading cost. So you'll be able to take that, use that code B-Side 13, and if you want something privately done with me, if you don't get it tonight, feel free to use it. It's my gift back to you, just in case you don't get to use it or don't get the reading tonight. It's going to be fast. Totally forgot to have someone time everything, so that's great. I'm going to basically explain to you everything in photo, picture, movie form, what it's being shown to me like, and then I will explain to you what it means. So you'll kind of get a double meaning in about 3 to 5 minutes, and I will sometimes, the energies when they come through, they're excited because it's their first time sometimes to be able to relay a message or so, oh my God, thanks for the flowers, love my funeral, whatever. And they will take up the whole channel and be like, come on, let me show you around heaven. And they do, I swear they do. And I have to check myself. So somebody say, hey, Rebecca, get with it, move on. And so animals, if they come through, living or passed over, I will tell you what they're saying. I joke around about this, but if you ever kill someone, don't do it in front of your dog. Because they tell. They do tell. Animals tell. They tell on owners all the time. They will tell what you've got going on in your house, what you're doing, too much of, too little of. They worry. They're super honest, and they tell on their owners. Now, also, if you have something coming through that is of a sensitive nature, maybe it's about someone who's committed suicide, or you want to be a pole dancer, I will not call you out to the audience. I won't do that. It'll rather be told as a full general message. So the person that is needing to hear the message will receive what they need without being put on the spot. Because the spotlight will be put on whoever I'm reading. No, I'm kidding, it won't. It won't. All right, just covering some general things, making sure everybody's energy is settling, coming down. And, okay, so real quick also, my guides first taught me to understand them on a beach. I know, it's a good place. And the beach represents safety, security, and grounding. I'm telling you this so I don't have to repeat it every time. Water of any kind represents problems, but it can also represent opportunity. It just depends on how it presents to me. If there's a whole other place. So from your perspective, you are in the water, okay? You guys are the water. Here's the shoreline, this is the beach. Up this right here, you have to understand this because I'll talk about this all night. This right here is a pathway up the dune. Up there is all dune. There is a fenced-in area over here where a lot of the times people will come through who are passed over. It leads out to a really big fenced field that drops down into what I would call an interdimensional area. Across up here, you've got a giant apple tree. That'll represent money sometimes if it shows up. Across from that, on the other side, is a forest. Down further is a house. There's a garden, there's a rainforest, there's a whole bunch of places. And basically, I just walk around with you guys. And in this setting, it is going to be what comes through that you need to know right now in 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm just gonna read as much as I can. When I'm finished, I'll let you guys ask questions. I prefer no questions. Again, I don't wanna know anything about you. And again, nobody here knows me, right? I don't know you, right? I mean, given JV's family, of course, I don't know anybody, right? Perfect. Okay. That's all we. All right. So let's see. It's super freaking hot up here. I'm just going to tell you guys. And seriously, when I start reading, I'm going to be dripping sweat because it just starts like hot. That's why I didn't wear any makeup. I'm good. I don't mind if I sweat. All right. I'm kind of confined to the stage up here. I can't see anybody. But I want to get everybody's light. Oh, golly gee, it just hit me because it happened. I'm looking at everybody's light, and there's some people, their light's kind of like, don't cross the streams. Everybody's light's kind of crossing. If I'm reading for you, and your Uncle Joe comes through and he drove a plane, flew a plane, and he had a dog named Jethro, and you have an Uncle Joe who flew a plane, had a dog named Jethro, but he liked blue and he liked green, please raise your hand and say, you may be talking to me. Because every time I do this, there is always one case that I'm like, they're beating me up, and then I don't know what you're talking about. And then after you all leave, they're like, I think I know what you're talking about. And then I look crazy, and so it will happen, I guarantee you. Or if you're quiet and your friend is not, they may accidentally jump in front of your stream, and I'll be reading them and not you. So if I'm reading your friend and not you, please raise your hand and be like, I think you're reading, or my sister, or my brother, that kind of thing. Okay. Oh my God, it's so hot up here. I'm also very fluent in French, but I will refrain tonight. People are like, I don't speak French. I bet most of you speak French. Okay. Right? See, you got it. A lot of people are like, phew! All right, so who's going to be the first? Let's see. All right, what colors we got going on here? I want to find different. I'm also an eye contact person, except when I'm reading. The veil drops, and I'm walking around with you on that plane or that dimension. It's a step out from here. So forgive me for not making eye contact every time. Can you say hello for me? Hi. Next to you? Hello. Do it one more time? Hello. Hello. Okay. So the first thing that I noticed about your color is you're very purple. I like to go for purple first. So purple, I like it because it's a very psychic color. Represents intuition, represents a higher awareness. It represents the ability to feel or be highly empathic. And that's, yeah, I also telepathically talk a lot to my guides too. So if you hear me like, oh yeah, that's great, it's because I'm hearing stuff. I'm not absolutely insane. But I pick you up. So that's what I do. I pick people up and I put them down. So I'm going to pick you up and manipulate you and kind of drop you on your beach right now. Because it's fun to do that sometimes. And then I like to flick people too. The reason being is because it tells me a lot about what your energy is. If I pick someone up and they try to bite me, which they do, that tells me a lot. So when I pick you up, you were actually very busy. You were very busy involved with whatever you were doing. And you're kind of put out with me because I am pulling you away from what you were working on. So you're definitely not a person that likes to be interrupted when it takes your full focus. And you don't want to be interrupted. You want to start and you want to finish it. And so when I set you down on your beach, you are barefoot. This is too much for me to play with up here, you guys. My gosh. You'd think I had... You think I have ADHD or something. I might. I was just never medicated. So I set you down and you're barefoot. So, and you're also wearing this outfit that's almost like a potato sack, but you have belted it quite tight around the waist. So first off, what this is saying is that nobody external to you. So remember these things, these little symbolic things like the barefoot part. Nobody's holding you back. Nothing external is telling you what to do. You are left to your own devices right now. And the reason Spirit is doing that is because he's trying to get you to trust yourself. He's trying to get you to say, oh, I was right. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Okay. He's trying to get you to understand what to trust and what not to trust. And failure is the best way of figuring it out. Because if you're always right, you're going to be like, I'm always right. But when you fail, then you're looking for new solutions. And that's what he's attempting to do with you. The only problem is, and he's got you in this beautiful potato sack. It's just this huge thing. And it's the reason I say it's beautiful is because it represents freedom. There's no constraints. There's nothing tight except you belted it, which represents your personal fears to do what he's asking you to do. So you're standing there going, oh my God, you want me to do what? I am so not good at that. I'm not doing it. And then I always tell people, don't lean onto your own understanding of who you think you are, because God doesn't dangle carrots and say, look, girl, look what you can't have. He's saying, look what you can have. Look what you can do. And then as children, what do? We're like, I don't know how to ride a bike. Well, if you're like me, it's like, just get on a bike, you're not going to fall. If you've ever tried to teach a kid to ride a bike, yeah, it's super fun. I'm one of those like threaten your life parents because I know how much fun they're going to have once they figure out how to ride a bike. They'll get over it. The problem is their fear of falling. And so what he is saying is, I'm giving you a bike. Get on the bike. You're going to fall. You're going to get hurt. But once you figure it out, there's going to be a massive purpose behind you learning how to ride the bike. And so that's what he's asking you to do, is just trust him right now. Don't deny something because you don't think you're good at it. Very important. Pennies, feathers, dimes. Pay attention to these things. Okay. All right, I've been asked 3 times to do this, so I'm just going to explain this very quickly because I don't want to waste time talking, but they're asking me to tell you this, which is part of what you've got going on, is this old soul thing. And so old souls compared to angelic or incarnate angelic beings. And throughout the evening, you'll be able to figure out who you are. But older souls, as incarnate angelic beings, you've been here a long time. You've been here for many times. You've lived many lives. I also ate before this, so I'll be burping the whole time tonight, so excuse me. You've been here a lot. The difference is that incarnate angelic beings at one point were more celestial. They cut their wings off. Let me go down and help. I'm really good at this. I'm going to go into healthcare. Yay. I'm going to become a therapist. Awesome. I'm going to do all of these things to help humanity because I'm so good at it. But I don't know how to say no, so I'm probably going to overrun myself with all these projects. And I'm going to also attract all these people who absolutely need help. And life is going to be hell for me. Right? Okay. All right. So then, and they're good because they're like, I love people. I just love humanity, and I just want to make a difference for you down there. Okay, great. But then you got older souls who have also been here a numerous amount of times. And then they go up there and they're like, finally, where's the ice cream? Because I just want to eat ice cream and cake. and I don't want to go back down. I hate it down there. And the first thing they do is run up to you, be like, yeah, kind of, we need you to go back down. So you you come into this world with a bit of defiance. Maybe you were hard to conceive. Maybe you didn't want to breathe. Maybe you had a problem when you were little that made it just like you did not want to be here. And you're also shoved into service positions of servitude, where you have to work with people, but you hate people. And so that is the difference. Angelic beings want to help. They love humanity, whereas the older souls just are like, really? Like, they want the best for people, but they're frustrated with people. And I guarantee most people here will be able to differentiate between, am I angelic? Probably not. And if you've ever driven long distance like my son and I did yesterday, 16 and a half hours was great meeting people on the road. Okay. So when I was first standing next to you, I got this amazing, awesome energy of trinkets and depth of detail. And I wanted to pull out a magnifying glass and stand and really look at how something was made and kind of pull it back and look and rewire it and just not just look at the superficial aspect of it, but rather the depth of it. So it's more of a polite, critical questioning, I think. Not looking at it and going, well, how do you work? I don't believe you. It's more like, let me learn more. And so you have this inquisitive nature about you, but it's also very, the way that you profess or the way you explain things also makes it great for people who don't maybe understand one way. You're able to explain and teach it another way. So part of the reason that you would be here as far as professing or teaching people. And pedantic, like you can talk really well about things when you want to. Scotty, if you've ever watched, did anybody see the first filming that we did in February? Okay, then you wouldn't get it anyway. Okay. People who can talk, you ask them what time it is, they tell you how a clock is made. In a good way. Okay. You mimic your grandfather a lot in behavior as well. And what I'm hearing, I've learned from my kids that I might misunderstand the ch-t sound. So it could be a ch or a t sound, like Charles or truck. They showed me the difference of that. So it sounds almost like if I were listening to paper. If you were to just slip money or paper through your hands. And he's telling me to tell you, well, this is how you do it. You do it just like this. It has to be done precisely like this. So he's also trying to explain that and it's funny how things can jump, because one parent is this way, so this kid says, I'm not doing that, so they're this way. And then when they have kids, they're like, this never happened, so no, I'm going to do it like this for sure, and they end up being just like this. So that's how things skip. So somehow or another, your precision and your detail is where it's supposed to be acknowledged from this grandfather, great-grandfather acknowledgement that's coming through. And then the sorting aspect, this, like, I'm counting. I don't know why. I feel like it's money or paper printing or something, but I'm feeling like it's money, coins, or something that I'm supposed to acknowledge. You may even be a bit of a collector. Okay, very cool. He smells like peanut brittle, too. Just gonna tell you that. Huh? That's an improvement? You know, stinky people might sit around and eat peanut brittle, but he smells like peanut brittle, like caramelized, buttery peanut is what he smells like. Interesting. Sometimes they'll give those fragrances so that you can acknowledge the human aspect of who they were. It's pretty cool. But he is definitely very precise. Okay. Oh my gosh, seriously. Anybody hate corded vacuums? This is reminding me of that. Gosh, I curse my vacuum every time I vacuum the house. I'm getting a Dyson one of these days, but then I'm like, cordless, really? Gonna really work? I have how many animals and like 10 kids, so. All right. You in the white, yes, in the polo, yeah, So for you, your guides are actually showing you happily crossing a bridge. And what I mean is, if I'm actually standing quite a ways from you where the bridge stands, but you are, this is all grassy. You have a little bit of an indent in front of where the bridge rises, and you're standing this way. I'm way over there, but you're standing like this, and you're kind of like, yeah, you are excited, and you're on your tippy toes. You have on, you know those 1970s jelly shoes that they used to make us wear? That's what you've got on. They don't make those anymore, I don't believe. And every time you went in the water, it was like, put on your jellies so you don't get it caught. Yeah, okay. At least that was my parents. So you're up in your little jellies, and they're pink too, which is important. I'll explain that. And you're kind of bouncing up and looking over the edge. There's an element of empowerment happening here for you, and an overcoming of, I want to say the words would be not only physically, but also spiritually overcoming and letting go, release, because the way you look here with the pink little jellies and the freedom that you're experiencing, and water again represents problems. It's running down and through and between your legs and underneath the bridge, and you're like, I'm up here, nothing can touch me, I'm good. The fact, when a bridge appears, it is taking you from what you know and what is comfortable over to a whole new experience you've never done before. It's terrifying. This is just all a wall of hedge and brush and prickly bushes. You do have, this looks like I don't think it's like a machete. It almost looks like a shovel or something. But it's not a machete. And the thing that you're being asked to do is carve out your whole own path here. So you're giving up what you know and going, okay, I'm going to pass over the problems. I'm going to get over here, something I've never done, and I'm going to make this happen. And if you are not yet over the bridge, just know that it is set up for you to fully succeed, even though you may not have the wherewithal, the knowledge, the answers. You sometimes have to just take a leap of faith, and that seems to be what's happening. But again, it comes down to release, belief in self, and the look on your face says it all to me, as far as like happiness, elation is what you're experiencing, and then also just triumphant, maybe, that nothing can touch you. I just want to listen. When I'm doing this, I'm talking to your higher self. It's your higher self that is expressing all of this to me and talking to me and leading me around and showing me things. And you just said to me, I never thought I would be here. Those are exact words. I never thought I would be here. So not here at the B-side, but in life. And then lastly, the only thing you're concerned about is the trickle-down effect. You're worried about what your actions are going to do as they trickle down. And again, when we encounter situations that are beneficial to us to improve who we are, to make us happier, if you run in, I joke around about this, but I'm not talking like a candy van. Don't go up to a candy van. That's not a good thing. It's the happy things, the things that bring you joy, that are going to better who you are, that are safe. There is a van in Iowa, because we drove from Iowa, that his license, it's a white cargo van, and his license plate says candy van. I got next to him, and I'm like, yay! And I'm like, you look creepy. But he was just like, Iowa's different, though. Iowa's great. I said, I don't care where I live in Iowa, because they all cook really, really well. So across the fence, you're like, what are you guys having for dinner? That's great. I didn't make anything yet. It's just a coincidence. Okay. So if you have not met or started your bridge walk yet, do it, because there's some super awesomeness coming your way as far as new things, new experiences, but they're all personal journeys specifically for you. Okay. on the end of the table, in the black shirt. You, yes. I think I'm really bad with dogs. I'm really bad with dogs. Because a lot of times dogs have little discretion and they will just jump down the channel together. But this is a smaller dog, and I would feel it's more lappy. But again, I have German Shepherds that think they're lappy. But this feels like a smaller dog. And when I was first scanning the room, the dog jumped like right on your head, like purr, her, her. So this dog, I'm thinking this is one that's passed over and wants me to talk about, and I can taste this is really weird, but you can tell what something tastes like by the way it smells. It's like a rawhide, like a white rawhide. And I feel like I can't have these. I feel like they gag me or they upset my stomach if I eat them too much. So this dog wants to acknowledge, this feels almost like a lower intestinal knot or something that would be further down, maybe in the colon area. And I don't know if maybe something was ingested or if this is an allergic reaction or somebody wants me to acknowledge which dog this is. And I'm really not sure. It looks like the size of a Jack Russell or something, or a Yorkie, or bigger than a Yorkie, but smaller than a Lhasa Apso. It's smaller. But again, it keeps trying to say, put me on her head, put me in her lap. And whipped cream, likes whipped cream. And hold on real quick. I don't know if this is a recent new do or an old do that was replaced, but it looks like white with blue designs, like a tile or a curtain or something, a pillow fabric, but it's white and it has like a blue pattern done to it. And I'm sorry, I just have to listen to the dog. Are you redoing? You don't answer. It's rhetorical, so don't answer it. But talking about redoing something or redoing a part of the house that the dog is looking at, and it looks like it's a new pattern that might look almost, I don't know if it's Southwestern or if it's new somehow. I don't know but the design again is there. And well, dogs are colorblind, but I'm not going to say that because it looks white with blue flowers or blue plants in it somehow, and I don't know any like an ornate tile or fabric of some kind. Looks richy, like ritzy or accenty is maybe the way to put it. Dogs are fun. Dogs are fun. Does not like cats. The reason I say that is because somebody put the cat out, like somebody put the cat out. Don't let the cat back in, just put the cat out is what. I'm wondering if you have a neighbor or somebody that has a cat that may be hanging out by your house or something, but somebody just put the cat out, like just stick it out there. And then you've got something else in your house, though, that sees this animal, that sees this dog. You have a new animal, something else that sees him wandering around. Okay. And wants me to really mention, very quickly, I'm going to round it out, something about your foot or your toe. It feels like on the right foot. And I've ignored it like 3 times. But saying something about, I don't know if it's that you've hurt or stubbed your toe or fixing something that needs to be so you don't hurt your foot or stub your toe. And I ignored it because I'm thinking, did she already do this or is she about to stub her toe? I just feel like if I was walking along and something were sticking up that I would normally not think was there. See, they do look out for us. They do. Animals are fun because they don't go anywhere. They go to heaven, they do cross the rainbow bridge, but then they come hang out with us. And also, spirit does not differentiate to me if it is a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife. I see a relationship. You're obviously together. Who all is here together tonight? Okay, I won't tell you anything to do with anything like Kate. I'm just kidding. Sometimes things come through that I think, oh, thank God, because things happen and I'm telling people things that obviously they don't want to hear or their spouse doesn't want to hear. But the dog is saying something about you fixing a relationship or correcting something to better for you. Like the dog is sticking up for you. So that's why I was like, okay, she didn't raise her hand. You didn't raise your hand, so your spouse is obviously not here. Okay. But correcting something, fixing something in a relationship that is standing up for you. Kind of like, I like popcorn. Do you like popcorn? I can eat more popcorn than you. It's that kind of a thing, like standing up for you. And protective. I'm just asking really quickly, I'm going to move on, what he plans on doing. I think it's a he. Feels like a he. But watch for, okay, I can't do, he's just talking, and he's going to keep talking. So he's bringing up more stuff. That's why I'm like, I can't do this like all night. But he's talking also about finding a new home or going to a new home or being in a new home. So maybe that you have moved recently or are moving or something to do with that. Okay. Okay. All right. Wow. No matter where I go, there's a spotlight. So I keep shifting to make sure I can see everybody here. Okay. Can you say hello for me? Okay, now like I'm a telemarketer? No, I'm kidding. That was so nice. That's how you respond to people you don't know. I'm like, what do you want? Because it always says spam. I don't know why. Our caller ID says fraudulent caller. Like, yeah. Or else I'll be like, hello, what do you want? And then they start going, oh, where are you from? I'm like, I'm in Iowa. No, where are you from? I'm from Iowa. And then they hang up. It's just all the past life accents. Okay, so for you, you're the same way on your beach too, because when I drop you on your beach, I do. It's so much fun to just see how people land, and you're very resilient because you're just like friendly landing, and then you say, "Come on, let's go for a walk." So you're going to show me around your beach, which is nice. You're the type of person who, if someone shows up unexpectedly, you welcome them. You let them in and take care of them. I just hide. If I don't know someone's coming, and I find that so peculiar, it's like, gosh, I'm just not like that. And so when I see people who are friendly like that, I think, what does that take to get there? Because I hide. I'm like, don't anybody move. It takes a lot of energy, and you are good with your energy to be able to do that. That says a lot. It also says that when I was telling you guys before about the dunes area and the house, off to the right when you're walking towards the house, there is a garden. And the garden represents a place where, as humans, we expend all of this energy, and we are constantly doing. But then we get to a burnout place where we're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm done. I just can't do it. So that garden represents everything that's planted there is planted by spirit. So we're able to go and pull from the garden and say, God, help me with what to say today because I don't want to chew someone out. You know, whatever your prayer is, help me drive to New York without running someone off the road, whatever it is. Anybody else get a little bit of just like, holy crap, people are bad drivers? Oh my God. So I'm not alone. Oh, hi, yeah. It's just anywhere, truly. You have a full garden, which says that he's obviously got something big on your plate. And the fact that you're really good at leading people, I don't want to say managing, but I want to say leading people. It feels like you're being placed in front of a project and you're being asked to put this together that is going, and you're like the cartilage, the softening agent between this and that. And you are going to be able to convey the messages between this and that. But you also, you lead from behind and you work from behind because there's a confidence level within yourself, and Spirit's trying to acknowledge that if you find yourself being offered a different position or aspect within work that involves more of a leadership role or a project role, take it. And it doesn't feel like you're teaching. It feels like you are putting people where they need to be. It's almost like human resources, but it's not that title of a job, because it's how you understand where people need to go, what they need to do. And I'm watching you and you're like, oh, I can't do that because I'm so involved with all of that. I just can't. Absolutely consider even just taking this project under your wings somehow and offering maybe a consulting aspect. But get involved, because you are this like cushion between two different aspects that are independent of one another, but you make it work. Like a knee joint or an elbow, that kind of a thing. Oh my. I heard someone just now that just wanted to say something. It was female, but it was muffled. I swear it sounded almost like they said something about a birthday. And, but not yours. It sounds like she's preparing for someone else's birthday. See, when we die, we just kind of unzip this meat sack and we step out. And we are this energy, the energy that causes the static electricity and our hair to move and everything, and you run up and shock someone, because we can move that electricity through us. And so it's matter, it's electricity. You can't just extinguish it, it has to go somewhere. So understand that this is, I don't know why they're telling me to tell you this, but she wants me to convey this to you, and I don't know why. She's talking about this birthday, and then she started talking about it being someone else's party that she's prepared for, and that she is wanting me to tell you that we don't just die, we become this energy that continues to burn people's light bulbs out and move through. And I know, it sounds weird, right? But I know if it sounds confusing right now, that's okay, because the best part is when it comes to fruition and you go, oh no, this is what that crazy person was talking about. Because she switched gears on me, but I have to go with what I'm hearing for whatever reason. It's more like, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. They're just telling me to tell you. But I can still hear her. She's busy. Like I can hear her in pots and pans and cooking, and I can hear her like, get the cake, I want the frosting, oh my gosh. So I can hear her doing this, but it almost, see, they never give me information about death either. Nothing ever comes through about death, ever. We're not supposed to know that. So it may be that she's just wanting me to acknowledge a birthday, or maybe she's acknowledging somebody that is suffering right now through Alzheimer's or some other form of a dementia or brain incapacitation kind of aspect. Golly gee, she has me so confused, but I'm just following her lead. Okay, I'm gonna leave her in the kitchen. I can still hear her. We have our own heaven. It's in the Bible too, that, you go to heaven and there's many houses in God's, in his home and many rooms. And I've seen people driving trucks. I've seen people golfing. One guy said, I love golfing in heaven because I never lose my balls. I've never forgotten that one. I've seen diabetic people ecstatic because they can eat sugar and candy all day and not die. And some people fish all day. they're sitting by a lake all day. It's wherever you want to be. And there is this heavenly place that we go to, but we also kind of come down and we visit and sometimes scare people, haunt them. And sometimes people don't go. Everybody wants to know, why don't ghosts ever just go? Why do they stick around? And there is this place in Iowa where I stopped and I asked, I was there with a friend of mine, he's a pastor, and we were going through to kind of clean the house up, literally like, this house is clean, kind of like ghosty wise. And the lady of the house, she came down the stairs and I said, why are you guys all still here? It was her husband, her father-in-law, her mother-in-law, the maid, the brother who had killed himself in the house. They were all like 7 or 8 of them. And I said, why are you guys still here? Everybody wants to know why you guys stick around. Not just you, but you in general. And they said, because we don't want to do it again. We don't want to go back up and be redispersed and have to find one another. We love it here. This is our home. For hundreds of years, it's been our home. So they just chose to stay as ghosties. They kick us out at 8. It's time to go, Rebecca. It's bedtime. It's pretty fun. Sorry, I had to break up the whole conversation between the next person and your grandma or whoever this is that's baking. All right, an E name too, like I don't know if it's Ethel or Estelle or something, but a short. She wants me to acknowledge an E. Okay, you save your money right now. No big purchases. He's like, are you serious? That's the first, as soon as I walked over here, they said that. You can look at it, you can drool over it, you can think about it, write it down, contemplate it, put it off. The reason they're saying this is because, again, what you want right now will not be what you want in like a short period of time into the future. And you're going to go, oh, man, I really wish that I would have waited. I wish I'd have thought about this. Because there's something else that's going to actually come into play. And the way that they're showing it is it's like a ribbon like this, and then it divots down, and then it comes back up. And it's a small divot. Look with it, too. So that, excuse me, that could be like 2 days, 2 weeks. Where are we? April? June. Maybe by June. You'll know by June. Okay, so any major purchases, don't sign on the dotted line yet. Don't buy anything just yet. You're like, crap, I'm buying a house tomorrow. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Just wait. And for whatever reason, they keep putting you by water. So when they're putting a person by water, it also mentions something about job change. And it may be that with that job change, if you were to do this right now, you'd realize, oh man, if I'd have just waited, I could have done that instead. So with the job change coming, it'll probably open up doorways for you as far as what you would like to purchase, where you want to spend your money, and where you want to save it, where you want to pay things off, and it'll alter everything. So that's probably the whole story, is that they got around to it last, but there's a job change coming that they're saying wait to spend your money, because you're going to find when this happens by June that you could have done something differently, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And it feels like you're walking a lot of it alone too. So that means that somehow there's a decision to be made that no one's going to be able to help you with, because it's an individual thing. It almost feels entrepreneurship-wise or leadership-wise as far as maybe running something all by yourself or owning it, that kind of a thing. Being off on your own island, being able to build it up from the bottom up, kind of a thing, which is good. It's a good thing. All right. And I also see a baby. I'm just kidding. I don't. Oh my God, really? Okay. Well, that was what I heard come through. If that was the joke, that was. You're like, really? We already have 4. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Let me see. Are you wife? Who's wife? No wife. No wife? Okay, good. Oh, she's not here? It's your husband? Okay. So let's see. Let's take a peek. Well, I actually see 2 children around you. And so either you have them now or you will have them. But this other thing through June comes first. The financial thing comes first. All the changes come first. And I also feel like there will be some form of a trip that comes with it before any, because it feels like the little girl looks older than the little boy. So all of it's going to happen in succession. So by June, there's going to be a change in work, but I feel you going south for something. I don't know if it's because there is an aspect of the business or this company that is south that you have to meet with them, but I see you around. I see 2 children around you. I see a little girl, and then I see a little boy. Do you have any kids right now? Couple. Good luck. Then maybe there's 2 more that are going to be coming to you. That's a blessing, though, right? All right. Oh, maybe that's why you were like, oh, had I known that I was going to get this raise, I'd have gotten 2. So that's why they're saying wait. Maybe they're brother and sister. Maybe. You're going to have to let me know for sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. See, like I said, let me point something out that I think is super apparent here. Spirit never tells me husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, straight, gay. He doesn't do it. Never. Because he doesn't care. I've been doing this for 37 years. And he has never once said to me, Rebecca, I am not reading for that person. I'm not giving them anything because this is... He never has done that, ever. And you have to consider this when you're looking at the whole politic of the situation, is if as a good parent stands, no matter how your children come to you, what they've done, they could have committed murder. I guarantee you're going to go into prison and visit them and love them and give them what they need and look out for them, because that's what good parents do, and that's what he does. And he does not judge any of us based on who we love, because what does it say? Love above all else. Because it covers a multitude of sins. And so that's what everybody has to understand. And that's where I stand with that, because that's all I've ever heard him say is how much he loves his kids. And he doesn't care about any of that. He just doesn't. It's just, life is too complicated. Can you imagine having this many kids with all the way things go in this world? Oh, I can't imagine. I have 5. And I can't imagine having billions. Some of them are good, some of them are a-holes. You just don't know. But you still love them, right? Even though they're jerks, you still love them. All right. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Can you say hello for me? Yes. I know this is weird, but can you say hello for me too? Hello. It's you. Okay. All right. I had to ask because the light on both of you was kind of converging a little bit. Sometimes it happens. But you have a very bright, sunny yellow light about you. And that yellow light, it tells me how friendly you are, amicable, how people are drawn to you, how people want to talk your ear off, how they want to throw up everything about their life on you. And they just are like, are you doing okay? That's great. Got to go. Bye. And then they leave. They tell you everything, and then they leave. And they don't give you the chance to reciprocate, because when it comes to that kind of thing, if you find yourself being the ear, it's because people don't see you as someone who needs to share. Like, they see you as it's a compliment in one way, because they think you're strong enough to deal. The aspect on the spectrum of yellow is important. So you've got this friendly side. Well, let's go over here. I know that's weird, but I have to do it this way. You got this friendly side, this happy side that people are attracted to and want to talk to and be around and hang out with. And that is what is exuded. It is this caring, loving energy that comes out. And then on this side, the other side of the spectrum that people disregard is the part of you that is nostalgic, and it's really, really good, and then it goes boom, and then it goes, oh, really good, and then boom. So there is this massive up and down, and it doesn't have to be a problem. It's not a problem. It's not like 1 minute you're happy and then you're sad. And what it is because you feel too much. You feel a lot. You feel through everybody and about everybody. And when I was saying before, I can manipulate people in when I'm reading them, I have to do that. Like, I can put an elephant on you, and you're like, oh my God, this is great, I love it. And it's suffocating you, but you're having a good time. I can give you a puppy, and you do the same thing. You're like, oh, it's so sweet. So you're loving. I mean, I can give you anything, and you are immediate mushy gushy taking care of whatever it is. That's how people see you, and that's how it comes across very much. Your energy is this squishy gushy, take care of people kind of an individual. And so with the reasoning, the aspect of this is making sure you're taking care of yourself too, making sure that you're saying no once in a while, or you're doing things that offer yourself the same compassion that you offer to others, and look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, you did such a great job today. High five. Don't break the mirror. High five, you know? We kicked butt today. Yeah, you shouldn't have flipped them off, but that's okay. You know, I don't do that. My son does that. Yeah. Yeah? All right. Like the flipping off part or the rest of the yellow stuff? Okay. Yeah, he's got that inside. The inside that you know, you come across strong, but then your inside is soft and squishy, and yeah, exactly. So I think part of that is acknowledging that aspect of that, spirit wanting to do that, and I know there's more there. I know there's more. I'm just listening for a moment. Okay, so it sounded like someone just... So somebody's talking about baseball, and someone just said something about sorry about not being there for a baseball game or not being able to see it, but hearing it. Like, it's a male voice, and he's repeatedly saying something about not being there for a baseball game, but hearing it or seeing it somehow. So I'm assuming the way he's making it sound is maybe he wasn't here, that he would have been passed over, or confirmation. Yeah, so he would have been passed over. And that looks like I don't know if this is for you or for him, but it looks like, I swear, it looks like a semi-trailer steering wheel. It's a big truck. Like, he wants me to acknowledge a steering wheel, a large one, from it, you know, one that you would put like one of those little doodads, those fun things that you can spin it like that. He wants me to acknowledge a big steering wheel. I can even hear, gears, like on a hydraulic or something. I can hear it trying to acknowledge the hydraulics, or gears on a hydraulics, or is it your dad? No. It's good, because if you're like I said, when I first started, your energy was converged. Okay. Hold on, let me come closer so they can catch that, so everybody can hear you. Go ahead.
No, I'm tearing up. So, my dad did the tires for everything for Marabitos, like old road truck repair. Like, he put the tires on, but when I was 8 years old, I didn't know how to ride a bicycle, but I knew how to pull one of those trailers into the garage for them. I could back it up, pull it out. Like, I knew how to do all of that. So, yeah.
Aww. No, and that's well, it's very possible, because when I first started, you guys were kind of entangled in each other, and that's why I had to separate you. But you also had a grandfather who drove truck, did you say? So that's what, this is what I'm talking about, when you get two people coming through that had similar sounds and noises, and then they come through on the same channel. So you're together, obviously. Okay. You know what? You're lucky tonight then, girl, because that is a pair up if I've ever seen one. You just happen to sit next to him. No, they're really together. That was joking. Okay, but I think that's awesome. So you've got a grandfather and a father coming through tonight to say hello. All right. let me just, I know I'm sorry, but I got to shove you to the side a second. I just want to separate the energy really quickly. It's just to separate that. All right. So is there for either of you, is either of them a J sound, like a hard J, or a G sound? Either of them a J sound? Your late husband is John. He's at the table too. That's okay. Interesting. John. No, it's not John. Mm-mm. He didn't introduce you guys somehow, did he? This John.
Well, John pushed me,
Hold on. I got to do this so because I can't repeat everything she's saying.
John pushed me spiritually into this guy, and I tried to deny him.
After he passed over. Okay. Okay. So we've got John at the table too. So there's 3 guys I'm trying to separate right now. That's awesome. So it's an acknowledgement. It's just an acknowledgement to you guys. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. This is the kind of stuff I get lost in because I just like to talk to them all night, and then I'll be like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Wait, what time is it? How long have I been talking to them? Okay. All right. This is really so distracting. Are you guys like hating this cord right now with me? I'm so sorry. It's kind of fun. I'm just like playing with it, so I don't mean to be annoying, but okay. All right. With the sunglasses on your head or the glasses on your head? Yeah, yeah. So for you, the first thing Spirit actually shows you doing is it almost looks like 2 double doors with paper over them, and you unlock and open and we go in. I'm walking in behind you, and it's dusty. It's kind of like not done. She's like, that's my house. No. It's a like it feels almost as if you're going to go in and renovate or do. Oh no, is it a new project? Okay. She's nodding her head yes. So this is a positive though, to let you know you're going in the right direction. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yay! She's like, it's my business. She's doing it for me. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, all right. So it's confirmation that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is always, if you've been questioning that, like, how crazy am I? That's a good thing to get that. Okay, pretty accurate. When, though, somehow or another in there, part of what they're showing is tending to self. I know that some of you are just these massive go-getters, apparently, that don't put yourselves first and don't consider yourself first. But they are showing you also, this looks like it's not a vacation. It is a celebratory trip. So it's almost like you're going on the beach to watch a wedding, or you're going on the beach to do something. So that's happening. Who's that? Not yet? Or that's you? Oh, congratulations. All right. Okay, well, we're going to move on now. Well, congratulations. You guys are getting married on the beach? On a lake? So you're going to eat cake by the ocean. That's great. Sweet. It's a cleaned up song. I didn't know, actually heard the bad version one day, and I was like with my daughter and went, okay. She's 9, and she's never forgotten it. Okay. Well, congratulations. So you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. And then you're supposed to be getting married, too, which is another good thing that you should be doing. So separating the energies really quickly, there also looks like there's going to be some kind of move shortly after the wedding as well. That's going to be job-related because of you. No, the groom. Yeah. Good groom, like good vibe groom. Sit. Good vibes for the gentleman, yes. And I think the reason they're bringing it up is because it'll be almost like one of those things like, oh my gosh, what? We just did this. or this just happened. And I think part of the reason they're telling me to tell you this is because you can't really screw it up one way or another. If you choose this way, you'll be fine. If you go this way, you'll be fine. I think they're letting you know this because between the two of you deciding what to do, it'll be one of the first maybe major hurdles that you'll get over, that you're not going to be like, am I going to regret this? Am I going to be upset if I don't? Are you going to regret if I don't? So I think it's going to be pretty workable. But you're not going to screw it up. He's not going to screw it up. She's like, oh my God. He's going to make the right decision. Remember, Rebecca said you were going to say no. No, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to make the right decision. Okay. All right, let's see who's around the corner here. She's on her phone. I'm going to read her right now. She doesn't even know it. Okay, there we go. All right. Just kidding. All right. You have a great energy coming through, but it's actually past life related. When past life information comes through, it's because it has some form of an impact in this lifetime, and that the current situations around you would be subconsciously remembered and then create some form of a trigger that could cause you unbeknownst stress or anxiety. Like, why am I feeling this, or what's going on, or why am I feeling stressed out? Why am I questioning this now? Why am I thinking about this now? And you have, what do you look like? You kind of resemble what you resemble now and how you look now. But your clothing is you're in almost like I don't want to call it black, maybe black, let's just say black. But it's high collar, really, I don't know how these women wore this stuff, but we're talking Titanic, high collars prior to. So early 1900s, late 1800s, you look. And you also have, I'm trying to straighten out the timeline here as to who you are. You're also tied in this lifetime through a previous life to your grandmother and your great-grandmother. So you've all kind of done this once before together, and then you've all just said, okay, I'll go back, and then I'll go back after you again, and then I'll go back after you. So you've done this before with them. And it also feels very medicinal or medical, and it feels like you were dealing, and this makes sense, okay, dealing with different health issues, cholera, dysentery, tuberculosis, dealing with all these different health issues. And so then all of a sudden we come into this time when you're alive and you're well. But, since 2020, we've got COVID and all this other stuff cycling through our world. And the reason they bring it up is normally when a person has this past life information come through, it's because they would have died previously from it. So you may have had cholera and died, or tuberculosis and died. So this time, all of a sudden, if you had anything to do with a flu or COVID, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm dying. And you're not. It's just that it would have triggered that panic mode of dying like you did previously, which you're not going to this time. Which is pretty good. We know, we don't want that happening. Yeah. So part of it is to reassure you of any kind of anxiety or stress that you might have since then of, is there something with me wrong with my health? Because truly even looking at your health, because I'm a medical intuitive as well, so I'm going to do this for you really quickly. Oh, speaking of which, I will ding this right now before I do that. On the Twitch channel for our followers and our subscribers, I do these free galleries for subscribers on Tuesday nights. JV does really cool and things during the daytime on Tuesdays, but then also on Wednesdays at 2 Eastern, I'm doing a show that is strict medical intuitive stuff. Kind of like Edgar Casey. Has anybody ever heard of him? Okay, so that's what I do to help people figure out what's going on with them, take it to their doctor, get better treatment, not die. Okay. She's talking right now to somebody. Want me to do? Okay. Okay. We're going to move on. Okay. She's talking. All right. Let's see here. Let's find. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. No, you're good. I was going to let you finish your conversation and move on. All right. So overall, let's just check you out real quick. Okay, your head is good. Head's good. Lungs are good. Chest is good. Heart is good. See, ultimately, and even your blood flow, everything on you is good. I don't know why. Maybe it's to reassure you because maybe you've been really worried about your health or whatever lately. I'm looking at your blood flow. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at for a possible autoimmune. I'm looking for anything weird. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything that is unbeknownst to you right now. And nothing crazy, nothing to take to your doctor. And that maybe the whole purpose of giving this was to reassure you that you're not dying or that you're not going to have a major health issue or that there's nothing going on health-wise to stress out over. Because if it were, I would tell you, you need to go get this checked. But I don't see anything that they're wanting you to know right now, which is good. Okay. What colors have we done? Yellow. We've done some purple. Let's see. Let's find some more people here. Where everybody's got great. Now everybody's calmed down. Everybody's energy is like, I'm good. I've had a drink and food and I'm happy. I love that. All right. Can you say hello for me? One more time? I think it's you. Can you say hello? One more time. Well, I can see why you guys are like at the same table together. I think this is for you. If I'm wrong, please be like, no, it was her. Okay, let's think. It's interesting. Sometimes they'll give me things that I have to interpret. It's like a different language. I have to figure out what they're trying to say. And one of the messages to give you is about forgiveness of things all around you. It's easy to say sometimes when it comes to forgiveness. It's like, I forgive you. But then when we're doing the dishes, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. You know, we realize we haven't completely forgiven or forgotten. And the first picture that they actually showed of you was, I'm standing here and you are, it's almost like a dark room. I can't really see anything else. It's just a dark room. And I'm watching you in this long skirt. You've got on a shirt and a cardigan, and you walk over. There's a little girl in the middle of the room, and you walk over, and you're like, hey, how are you? And you're just talking to her, and you're having a good time, and you get down on the floor with her, and you're talking back and forth. And so the representation here is you went into this room dimensionally. This is you. This is who you're talking to on the floor. And so one of the messages Spirit is basically wanting you to understand and to do is to find this. I mean, I'm thinking she's like 5 or 6. Finding her, telling her that everything is going to be okay, and explain who you are. And what I find so interesting with this as well is if you've ever, which I think you have, had an experience when you were about that age where you were either visited by what you would have thought was a guardian angel or by someone who would have come and made contact with you, possibly through a dream state. Because at that age, it's kind of hard to tell, was I sleeping? Was I awake? But it's so weird too, because it would be you now going back in time to when you were little to be able to remember that this happened. So this dimensional aspect of the spirit and how that works. But it is coming down to you recovering her and then finishing this life and walking with her. Because, again, this is like a dark room that she's been playing in, which means, oh, and then you've got on this really cool outfit. I wish I could draw, because I would be the highest paid like fashion designer ever, because these are some of the coolest outfits. But you look very nice. But wearing the shirt with this cardigan also represent protection. You spend a lot of time protecting yourself from other people's energies. And so finding the little girl, being vulnerable again to all sorts of levels in your in relationships and situations is what Spirit is saying that they really want you to do. And the best part about finding the little people in us is because they bring out that child, that openness, the laughter, the fun, the ability to say, I'll give that one more try. Sure, let's try it. I'm going to throw up again, but let's do that again. You know? So the message is doing that. So it comes down to forgiveness. Now, I don't think this is entirely for you, so I'm going to actually segue into something for the room. But I once read for this guy. It does have something to do with the forgiveness aspect, but it's for someone else here. I read for this person who their loved one, gentleman, had committed suicide. And he was a very big non-believer of anything in life, highly non-believer. And she didn't tell me any of this until after the fact. But he had come to me and he said, I want her to know that when I passed, I went to an edge, and I'm walking behind him along a dark trail, and what looked just like a big cutout to a nothing. There was just space, let's say. And he said, and I stood on this ledge, and I looked up, and I looked down, and he said, I heard music to my upper left. And he said, and I looked and I said, well, God, if you're there, catch me. And he goes, and I just jumped. And he said, at that point, he was whisked away, phew, gone. And now at this point, the woman is bawling because he was a huge non-believer. But in that moment of faith, he just took it and realized that we judge too much. And that was I think part of is not judging yourself. Don't judge the people around us. It's so hard sometimes to look at people and be like, oh my God. But we all do it. We do it to ourselves mostly. We're highly critical of ourselves. So stop judging yourself. Stop judging the people around you, because I guarantee we are all just as burdened with our own garbage. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of the people around us. Find the little person that's hiding in the room. Join up with them again. Find out what fun it can be to hang out with little you. Very cool. I think it's just going to open a big door because you're so empathetic as well. This high empathy that you've got going on. By finding her, it'll help you to resolve any problems as far as going, oh, that's why I don't like you, because you're a jerk. And you'll figure it out. That vibration part of that. What I mean by that is this. So, somebody else needs to hear this in here. Again, not being pointed out for whatever reason. We all have a tuner. We have a tuner that sits adjacent to our heart. And when you walk into a room, and let's say somebody's been fighting, and they're like doing their own thing, you're like, what's going on in here? Everything okay? We're all right? Everybody's good? Okay. Your friend sits down at the table. She's been upset about something. What's going on? Oh, everything's fine. I'm fine. No. You know the energy. You're able to say fight, sad, angry. You know, because we tune to each other. We vibrate on that. We learn anger is this. Sadness is, we learn the different vibrations. And the problem is that if you are a soul that is here to help and to make differences in people's lives, and you're constantly putting yourself out there to help, realize you will attract the brighter light you have. You will attract abusers, narcissists, gaslighters. You will attract abusive people, addicted people. You will attract them like a moth to a flame. And the problem is after you're with them long enough and you go, that's angry. That's not anger. What are you talking? You are wrong. That is not anger. Man, my tuner is off. After a while, when you are told that your tuner's wrong, you start to completely doubt yourself in every aspect of the way. Like, I don't know, because my tuner's so bad, I can't pick a good one from a bad one anymore. No, it's just you've been made to believe. You've been made to believe you're wrong. And it's not the case. You have to start having faith that this is all right. It's up here that you need to fix. You need to adjust this up here. And that takes a lot of spiritual work. It takes a lot of one-on-one. And so trust that if you are the person that everybody throws up on and you are around people who are abusive or addicted and they keep finding you, you will have to put up a bit of a shield. And hence you had on the little scarfy doodad. So that was another thing. People will layer. People will layer clothes. And okay, so whoever that was meant to get to. If you're around any of those people, just realize it. You can continue to be around them, but then also realize that if you are given a pathway by Spirit and he wants you to do something, but you're with someone who's like, you're not doing that. That's stupid. Why would you do that? That's the dumbest thing ever. If God hands you a gift, are you going to be looking like, oh, no, I don't want that. Thanks anyway, because he says I shouldn't take it. No, you're going to take it and open it and be excited. If I gave you a gift and you looked at it like, oh, that's nice, I'm going to just put this on the shelf. I'd be like, give me that back. I want it. Take the gifts. Get rid of the people that poop on your parade. That's that. It's that. Okay, so I don't know who that's for, but I can say that because I've been there. I know I've been there, and so I mean that's what I do for a living is attract everything, and you just have to learn. I tell people this: every day you put on your smile, you get dressed, pull your hanger off. It's a beautiful flaming violet outfit. It's flaming. Unzip it. Take it, step into it, put it on your arm, zip up your crotch all the way over your head, and then look at it like, okay, I am ready for Walmart. I am good to go. That's what you do. Or just not in front of your animals. And protect yourself and just know that y'all have to understand, it doesn't matter how good you are or how bad you are. I can find something good in every one of you because that's what God gives me to be able to do, is to find amazing things in each person. So everybody just has to really start looking at each person and going, oh my God, I just want to punch you in the face right now, but you like art and I love art, so we can be friends. Boop. All right, I'm so hot right now, you guys, I'm dying. Holy cow. And I wore a shirt that probably is making me look sweaty. I do. That's fun. Am I on time? Am I good? Oh my gosh, time is running. Oh, also, I'm going to keep reading, but I do have some books with me tonight. I have 3 books that I wrote that I brought. If anybody's interested, I did bring them if you guys want one. Okay, moving on. Okay. I was looking at you in the coral shirt. Is it coral? Okay. And the reason I said artistry and all that is because you have this amazing confetti thing about your energy that brings happiness, and it made me feel sparkly when I looked at you. And the reason I say that is when you are able to walk into a room and people feel better around you, it is the fact that they're more receptive to what you have to say and to share. Now, at the same time, I also see you as a stickler to the principles, the way things go. It is how it's done, and don't like go on any sides of that. Just do it this way. So, excuse me. It is the fact that you're kind of misconstrued because, let's say people around you are going, "Oh my God, she's like Nurse Ratched. It's the same thing. You have to do it like this." But then when they get to know the other side of you, It is loud laugh and funny and laid back, and I don't think people get to see enough of that part of who you are. And so, again, there's this misjudged or misidentified aspect as to who you are. The bluntness of your energy is very good, too. We all need that friend that says, those jeans definitely, it's not the jeans. Your butt just looks big. So there is it's the honest part of it that makes you that person that people, I think would benefit to have around. Now, I don't know why they wanted me to tell you that, but they did. So high five. Okay. And I want to take you really quickly because you have fun. Like, your energy's fun. I could actually pick you and swing you, and you're like, wee. So I'm going to throw you on your beach. And as I set you down, the first thing you do is you go, I am so bored on this beach. I'm bored. I'm tired of this beach. Now, we all have our own beach. From birth all the way to death, we have our own beach. I always say, if there's people on your beach, kick them off. If it's a 6-month-old, throw them on their beach with a spin top or something. They don't belong on your beach. It's your space. And as you're standing this, I'm over there. The water is to your right, inland to your left. And you're saying, I want to go out there. I want to go experience anew. But you seem very tied up with everything as it is. All the people, the resources, that's where everything is currently coming from. And you're trying to figure out, how do I experience something new? I would say manifest that. Ask for it. That which you believe in and ask for, you shall receive. Just do it. The reason I say ask for it is when people just rush or make haste for something and there is no boat, no nothing, they just go out in the water, the timing is off. So I know I'm skipping here. I have to explain this as it comes. There's a huge ship out in the water. But to get there, you need a boat or to swim. Now, if you try to swim to the ship, you're going to drown, and you're going to be like, I should never have done this. No. You should go to the boat, that big ship out there. But you have to wait for the boat to appear first. The boat is spiritually given to us. And it is basically, it allows us to make the trek out there safely in the right timing. It's like you're standing there with everything you need to bake that cake except the eggs. So God's just like, you just have to wait. I don't have the eggs yet, girl. Okay, so you just have to wait. And that's what's happening. So what the ship represents is your knowledge, all your tacit knowledge, eventually being taken to the ship and used to either provide help with a merger or something of that effect between two companies. Okay. Oh my gosh, okay. There are people that are in the water. I haven't found anybody here yet that's in the water yet. I don't like to find people in the water, but sometimes it happens. All right. You're really not. You have great energy. All right. And can you say hello for me? She's good. She's like, hello. Hi. That's so funny. It's all good. No. We've all been there. So I'm listening to your higher spirit as I'm pacing. And as I'm doing it kind of to instigate some behaviors out of your higher spirit. And as I'm doing this, you're like, are you okay? Can I help you? Are you okay? Do you need something to drink? You're just back and forth with me as I'm walking. So you're definitely the type of person who likes taking care of people and making sure that they're okay. And so I'm going to actually pick you up. I need to put you somewhere. And I'm going to put you up on your dune area. When I was saying up in the dune, there's a forest right here. So I want to set you there real quick. I'll explain it in a minute. Yes, forests are very good. All right. You're talking. So you said the way you were standing, so this is the entrance to the forest, and you're like, oh my God, I've done this before. I don't know, do I have to do this again? I don't know if I want to do it. And you actually sit down. That's why I was listening, because I had to hear what you were saying to convey this message. So this entrance to this forest, this represents a very singular journey. It's as wide as your shoulders. The branches, as you're walking, kind of pull at your clothes and they strip you down. And the pathway represents everything in life that you're going through, that it's like when it rains, it pours. If it could go wrong, it goes wrong. If you feel just defeated and torn apart, it's going to happen on this pathway. And it looks like, I'm thinking tween to young adult would have been the first time you would have walked this path. But this is also, you were dealing with things parentally. You were dealing with things with parents as you were taking this walk. And I want to say it would have taken at that age, especially to go through a forest. I feel for kids who have to go through the forest, because it's already difficult for adults. It's difficult when your brain is already formed and functioning and capable of understanding what is happening to you. But then for a child to have to walk this is a feeling of defeat. And what happens is, at the end of that pathway, so this is a prop kind of thing, like, props to you, girl. That's a shout out from upstairs. But when sometimes people get to the end of this pathway, it strips us down and it removes everything. We're vulnerable, we're naked, and we're tired. And we're just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And some people curl up at the end of that path, and then they don't do it anymore. They just choose not to. And then there are people like yourself that curl up in a ball and just cold and naked, and God, you know what? If you want me to stick around, you better figure it out, because I don't know what to do here. And so he picks us up, and that's when he kind of heats us up and he molds us and he melts us down into exactly who we need to be. So at a young age, what they're wanting to acknowledge is that you would have had very hard lessons and learned where your strength was and how to get through, because it wouldn't have been just you that you would have been helping through. You've helped other people. Now, the important part of that is there are other people that would not have gotten through their own situations had you succumbed to the end of that pathway. And so that is what is supposed to be acknowledged here. And you're standing here right now going, I put you there. Like, I dropped you in front of it because I wanted to know your response. And you don't have to go through it again. And you can if you want to, but you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again. This sucks. The best part about that pathway, though, is it helps us to redefine who we are and transform. And it's kind of like another way to put it. And some of you may know this poem, but it's something, I'm paraphrasing. The caterpillar, how'd it go? The caterpillar was sad one day and hung itself to die, and returned the next spring as a beautiful butterfly. Something like that. So this munchy caterpillar, hangs its chrysalis, thinks it's gonna die, melts down, and then all of a sudden transforms into this butterfly. So, yeah, pretty cool. I love those acknowledgments. It's because I don't know any of you, but to know that even though I may not have given you a reading tonight, the realization is that we all have a minimum of 6 guides with us in this lifetime. Angelic beings that are here to help us. And then we have people who've passed over that will come and help us. And then we have all the archangels. And I know the timing, I'm gonna, we can allow for questions and stuff. I know timing is running out. I'm gonna keep reading, but realize that there are so many circumstances to live for. This is how I explain it. So you're born, you're on the table, okay? You're just sitting on the table. And then you've got your archangel over here, and they're like, oh my God, this is Mary. And you got your little angels over here, and they're like, Mary, Mary, woo, woo, woo. They're excited, okay? And so the angel is looking, they're like, oh, so Mary's going to, she's going to teach. Oh, that's nice. And Mary's going to save a child from a car accident. Oh, go Mary. Okay. Mary wants to learn how to mountain climb, and Mary's got a lot cut out for her. And you guys are going to have to help her and lift her up and support her. And they're all just like, woo, woo, Mary, Mary, we're going to be there. We're going to help. We're going to keep you. We're going to pick you up when you fall down, okay? They're excited for you to get out of diapers. Then on this side of you, you have this dark angel. And he's got his minions here. And I'm not talking little yellow googly-eyed dudes. They too are following you around your entire life. So if you've ever had that proverbial Tom and Jerry thing, it's real. Eat the cookie. I don't want to eat the cookie. I'm on a diet. Who's going to care if you eat the cookie? That's what I'm talking about. So he takes that. Give me that. Let's see. So Mary's going to become a teacher in a public school. Great. Okay. We got that one. And Mary's going to try to high dive and climb a mountain. These are good. These are good. We can work with that. So you guys, when Mary is down, I want you to kick her. And when she's curled up in a ball, I want you to keep kicking her until she can't get back up again. I just want you to keep doing that because that's what their point is with all of us, is to take us out. Because if they do that, and then everybody you're supposed to help while you're here, you won't be, it's like wonderful life. It's exactly the way to put it. You won't be here. So just keep sticking around. Go to sleep, eat a cake, drink some wine. I don't care. But find another way to just go another minute. Okay. All right. It's so important. And you can't do anything about it, though, if somebody does. Just please remove that burden from your shoulders. On the end here. Yes, you, right? Yeah. Yes, you with the little cross necklace right there. Yes, uh-huh. I know people, I must have chameleon eyes up here because people are like, who's she looking at? You smell like peppermint, I know, right? It's very Christmassy. It is very comforting, fresh breath, that kind of a thing. But very pepperminty, cool. All right, so let's take you. Where am I going to throw you? I'm going to put you in front of your house. Okay. So you actually are specific to the house. And I'm actually giving you guys a different taste, trying to give you different places so it's not all the same. You still get your reading. But when I'm doing private readings, I do the whole place for people. So that's why I'm kind of just trying to find energies that have a click with those places. And so putting you down in front of the house. You are the house specifically, house, garden. And it looks, I'm really bad, but it's almost a cottage. It's a cottage, I have to say. So it's welcoming. Come on in, enjoy yourself. But there's a gentleman standing in the doorway. This is not normal. So this tells me that you either, well, no, you probably just have someone around you that is passed over, that is somehow wanting to acknowledge that, hey, that's me, or I'm here. He smells like, what is that? It's almost like, it's not whiskey. It's, I don't know, it's a brown liquor, like a whiskey or a scotch, something like that, maybe a bourbon. And it's warm, but he is taller, probably about 6'3" or 6'4", because he's almost to the door jamb. And he's, I'm sorry, that was funny. Okay. He's wearing either very light jeans or gray slacks. Top is a button-down. I think he's got a sweater over that, like some kind of a sweater. Not a cardigan, but a sweater. A B name, B, like Bob or Bailey or B comes through. And hold on. Gotta come closer. Hold on. I'm asking him to come closer and to speak up because if I go through dimensions, it'll exhaust me. So I'm telling him he's got to come closer. And he goes, I was never really good with this stuff anyway. So he's talking like different learning new tricks or learning new things. As actually, that's what causes a lot of people not to come through. He's standing in the doorway. What am I missing? He's like, if this is the door, he's almost to the door. He's like just under it. And he's got his hand up against this. He's like leaning up against the door. And he's not saying anything else. But he was mentioning the B named B. And he keeps pointing to your garden, but I don't know why he's pointing to the garden. There's nothing there. The garden represents, okay, wait, let me look at the flowers. Okay. So planted, you've got some sunflowers, you've got some roses. So those are, they've got harder stems, more hardier stems. They withstand storms, they withstand the wind. They both I'm sorry, there was just somebody just went, oh. There was nobody here that just did that? Okay. Yeah. Whose sisters? You? Yeah, no. If you guys are together and you stepped in front of her, that's possible. We all sometimes do that. We just have stronger energy. No, I'm glad because if it's not making sense to you, but he's talking about the flowers being the where he keeps doing like this. He's going like this, and I'm like, what? And he's pointing to the garden, and I'm like, it's a garden. But it's the flowers that are in here that represent the rose being feminine, beautiful, courageous, strong, hardy, withstanding. And then the sunflower being one that will turn to spirit or turn to the sun for help and guidance. The rose, again, also being like it's thorny. I don't mean to hurt you, but I will. So he's trying to describe what's being pulled out of that would be something that you would use. And so were you thinking it was you that he was talking about? Or that she's talking? You're not sure? But again, it's like he said, bruh, and what am I missing? He's not telling me properly. I'm not. See, this is going to drive me crazy. He's doing the best he can to give it to me. So this is one of those moments where somebody's going to come in and go, I think I know what you were talking about. Because he's okay. So let me also point this out. The garden itself represents when we give of ourselves. It's a non-materialistic ability to give. So every time the flower is pulled, it is our time, our energy, our love, our hope, nothing material. It's giving of ourself. He's trying to acknowledge this part. This gentleman that is coming through, do either of you know someone who dealt with a hospice or a person who did like a near death or the hospice that sits, what are they called? Like a doula or somebody who sits with the person as they're dying? There's a word for it. Is it a doula? Okay, I did not. I was thinking that was like I'm talking pregnancy all of a sudden. Because my brain doesn't work when I'm doing this. I can't even come up with a vocabulary. It is. Hospice. But there's another word for it. People who do the deathbed help, where they're helping someone transition from one. He wants me to talk about his head. He wants me to talk about his throat, so I am assuming he may have been on a ventilator. This could have been somebody who was having difficulty breathing, but he would have been put under or in a situation where maybe he was not, either that they were trying to heal him, or see, this is where I can get lost because he's trying so hard to get his message across. Guarantee somebody knows what I'm talking about. talking about his chest, throat. So this is maybe having tracheotomy done. What side? So the left side of my head, this may have been a stroke of something happening up the left side of my head, or brain flow happening more towards the frontal lobe. Okay, I'm gonna leave him here because he's like this. He's playing charades with me. He's not communicating. He's not talking. Oh. And this may have been someone who didn't die naturally either. This would have been something that would have been like a life taken or possible attempted loss of life kind of a thing. Does that make sense to anybody around at that table over there? Yeah. Your dad died like that? Are you connected to them at all? You thought it was your dad? Interesting. I don't have a nose yet. Nothing like this. He's not verbalizing anything. He's trying to walk me through it. And I wonder, I don't want to waste time trying to get that out of him, but I'm wondering if I'm picking up on 3 of you at the same time. So I'm seeing him and I'm hearing everything else. So at some point I would probably have to speak to each of you, the 3 of you, alone, away from each other's energy, so I can separate who these gentlemen are that are possibly coming through the same channel. And I'm happy to do that. Also, if you guys have questions about anything, then beyond tonight that may have been private or that you didn't want, maybe you wanted the reading but you didn't want it answered, don't hesitate to email or, hey, I was at the B-side, and don't hesitate to contact me. I'm not closed off like that at all. Please use the gift cards that you guys, everybody has their gift card, right? For that as well? Okay, perfect. And you can always find me on Paranormal Reality on Facebook, YouTube. There are shirts for sale. No? Just the paranormalreality.com. Okay, so it's paranormalrealitytv.com. It'll send you to all the links. And I am constantly on social media, so it's not hard to find me either. And I'm happy to answer. Does anybody have any quick questions before we call it a night? Because you're welcome to stay here and drink, because I think that's what everybody else is going to do. You're drinking? All right. Yes. Yes. Colors that are not solid? Most of the time, yeah, they're just more transparent, or they're kind of like a halo around people, more like aura colors. And it can change based on what I think I'm looking for. I don't know how to explain it. So if you're angry, it might appear one way, but if I'm looking for something in you, it would help confirm what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. Yeah. JV, did you have anything else you wanted to add tonight about anything? Nothing? Yeah, definitely. You guys, okay, so this is what's happening this weekend, all right? So we're going to be where he told you we're going to be. I know nothing about it. Yes, tomorrow. Well, we are lucky. We get to go. But the thing about it is because so many people want to do this work, and they just can't. So coming into the chat room, you're able to get into the investigation with us, tell us what to do, how to do it, what questions you want asked, and just be fair, be nice. Don't stick me someplace terrifying, because I'm a huge chicken shit. So, I have often prayed to just be normal so that I can go into a haunted place and not feel or see or hear anything, and then I'd be brave. But when you can when you can see something and it's dark and you can't make it out, that's terrifying. Because why is it hiding? But tomorrow, subscribers, followers on the Twitch channel, you guys get to get in the chat room. Bradley, who is running camera right now, he's going to be running the chat room. He's going to be walking back. The coolest thing is this. The live, 2 nights live, is taken and pushed down to a 1-hour televised show. And if you're in the chat room and we pull you up, your face and your comment will be on the television show with it. And then you have to sign a waiver and an NDA and all that good stuff. But you could be a part of the televised 1 hour. So if what you tell us to do amounts to some kind of reaction from them, you'll be televised with us. So it's a cool way to get everybody involved. Excellent. Britt, did you have anything you want to say? You looked like you were ready to get up on stage.
What I want to do is I want to get a photo with everybody. So
Oh my God, yeah, we need a photo. You're so smart.
guys, and we're gonna do a massive selfie. Is that cool? Is everybody okay with that? I love doing that because you're kind of
That's a great idea.
the beginning of this whatever the hell this train is we're on that we're rolling.
That was a good idea. I always forget photos.
Photos. I photo everything.
Do a real one. Do you have a camera to do that with?
Yeah, James does.
Do we have to get down?
I don't know. Can you see?
Not really with the spotlight. Get together. Just get together.
Does that work? All right. And the other thing, so thank you for coming. This is I've been like retired for 10 years. It's my first time back into this. I was that burnt out from being on the road for 10 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a lot more of these things. It's gonna get a lot more crazy. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, all of you guys are more into this, the psychic side, the sensing side. I am literally as sensitive as this speaker right here. I can't pick up nothing. So when you watch the live stream of our investigation, you guys are gonna get the best of both worlds. Her doing this stuff, and me, I'm gonna have equipment everywhere. So we're gonna blend it all. So for those of you husbands or wives that are drag-alongs that don't, they're like, oh, okay, dear, to make you happy, we're gonna blend it so that it'll be scientific-ish with like stuff we can't manipulate as humans, and then so
You can ask.
that's what it's gonna be about. And then if there's any engineers in the audience that are tinkering with stuff in the garages, please reach out to me. Most of the cool equipment I used on Ghost Hunters came from guys working in, and gals, actually quite a few girls to be honest with you, just tinkering with stuff in their garage, in their kitchen. I can't tell you how many kitchen appliances I used to do stuff with. So please reach out to us. And
I just want to say the first investigation we did, which was about a month ago. Does anybody know? Does everyone or anyone know what a spirit box is? You've heard of those?
who doesn't know?
Okay. Okay. It's a device that scans radio frequencies very, very rapidly. And when you use them, some people believe, some don't, but some people believe that voices will come through. I've heard voices come through, so I believe. Well, it scans radio frequencies very rapidly.
Who here is old enough to remember the car where you got in, you go, and it goes,
Okay.
yeah, it's like when you push that button, it goes, but it doesn't stop, it just keeps going.
Anyway, this device scans frequencies rather quickly, and we did a session that's called the Estes method, where we take somebody listening to this device, blindfold them, put noise-canceling headphones on them, stick them in a different room, so they can't hear the questions that Rebecca is asking the other side.
Okay, wait. No, you
Yeah.
missed the whole
What I miss? What I miss?
Okay. Okay. So I remote view places. This is why I wanted someone else to explain it. So I remote view. Okay, it's okay, JV. So I am sitting down with James, who's running the whole show, okay? And I am watching Rob, who is in the basement by himself, in this terrifying basement by himself. He's got the headphones on, he's running the SB7, it's cycling like Britt has, yeah, exactly. And every now and then they'll pull a word out of it. So I said, I'm going to remote view and go down into the basement with Rob and talk to whoever's there. And so I put myself down into the basement, and I'm like, oh, okay, so there's someone coming up behind him. I said, oh, what's your name? I forget if it was John or something. I'm like, hey, how are you? How long have you been here? And then he didn't answer that. Rob didn't say anything at this point. And I said, oh, did you drown? And then Rob goes, drowned. And I'm like, we're all like, oh my God. It was all caught on camera. And then he kept going. This is what was so important about it was because we're all upstairs, a foot basement thickness, 3 or 4 rooms over. And I'm sitting there going, did he hear me ask those? Like, how is he? That was amazing. I was blown away. James was blown away. The whole reaction. Did we not freak out? It was freaky. It was, you have to watch
It's all
the
on
episode.
camera.
It's all on camera.
That's the whole thing. We're going to document it with multiple cameras.
I was going to say all that. Yeah, I was. I didn't get there yet. I swear. Anyway, the point is we caught some really amazing things at that investigation, and I expect the same to happen here at the Fairchild Mansion. So again, those QR codes on your table will get to your channel. Just follow it. It's free. There's nothing you have to do. And then check us out. What?
And then the other thing is the JV, I pulled my lecture, my tech lecture I used to do 10 years ago and back. I'm pulling that back together. JV and I are going to start really doing a lecture and detailing on equipment, pulling up evidence, detailing evidence, along with Rebecca doing her galleries. Yeah, galleries. So it's going to be a lot of evidence, a lot of tech stuff, a lot of gallery stuff. And we're going to blend it all together. We're all going to have fun, and hopefully we talk to the other side. And at some point, maybe we're lucky enough we get that come to Jesus movie with Jesus himself. And we'll document it on film, and then we all know if we need to be good in this life or not. We just do. That's the hope.
And we apologize for it being so warm, but who would have thought on April, whatever the date is, that we'd be dealing with this weather? I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, but we didn't expect it. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it.